Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel where we're going to talk all about Annapolis, Maryland and the surrounding areas so that you can decide if this is the place that you want to be, or if you happen to already be a local, where you can come and find out more fun and exciting things about your community. So today what I want to do is I want to share with you why you might not want to move to the Annapolis, Maryland area. And I'm going to do this with 4 points. So the first reason that you may not want to move to Annapolis, Maryland is that you might not like the outdoors. Well, let me just share with you that if you're not an outdoors person, Annapolis, Maryland could be a terrible idea for you, because what we have here in Annapolis, Maryland is lakes, rivers, beaches. We have biking trails, hiking trails, parks. We have wide open spaces, outdoor festivals. We have waterfront restaurants, docking, you name it. We are outside as often as we can possibly be when we're here in the Annapolis, Maryland area. The locals love to be outside. So if you don't like being outside walking your dog, if you don't like to be on your paddleboard or your kayak or your jet ski, if you don't enjoy boating, if you don't enjoy cycling, hiking, running, just being outdoors in general, then this might not be the best place for you to live, because it is perfect for people that do love all of those things. Now, there are other items. Number 2 is if you don't like seafood. Let me just tell you, one of my favorite things to do is eat seafood and all of the wonderful fresh seafood that we get out of the Chesapeake Bay. We get our blue crabs, our oysters of all sorts of different varieties, rockfish, shrimp, you name it. We get wonderful seafood here in the Chesapeake Bay, Annapolis, Maryland area. And every menu has crab cakes, crabs, crab dip, you name it, oysters. We've got it everywhere on the menus around here. So if you don't like seafood, might not be a great place for you to move, because you're going to have it. Or if you're allergic to seafood, my goodness, could be quite dangerous for you. Number 3 is if you don't like bridges and tunnels. Now, I know a lot of people have phobias over bridges and tunnels, but you have to understand that the state of Maryland is split right down the middle by the Chesapeake Bay, which is one of the largest estuaries in the world. And we have to go across that either over or under, as well as through the bays in Baltimore and in various different parts of this wonderful state. You're going to have to be on a bridge or a tunnel, especially here in the Annapolis area where we're right on the border of the Chesapeake Bay. You're almost always on a bridge or in a tunnel. So if you've got a phobia, or if you just don't like them and you don't want that to be part of your life, then moving to this area could be a really bad idea. Now, another thing that people love and hate about Annapolis, Maryland is that we get all 4 seasons just as clear as they can be. You get your hot summers, very humid, great to be out on the boat and on the water. You get your beautiful springs, amazing to be out walking, taking the dog, spending time with the family. Equally as beautiful are the falls with all of the different changes in colors and foliage. And of course, we get winter where it does get cold, but not brutally cold. And every once in a while, we'll get snow. So if you don't want to maybe wake up one day and have to wear a sweatsuit to go outside to stay warm, and then by that afternoon be down to flip-flop shorts and a tank top, then Maryland could be a bad place for you to move, because we've got all of the seasons, and sometimes we have all of them in one day. I know it sounds crazy, but it's one of the things that I love most. Another thing is if you don't like our flag, well, let me just tell you that Marylanders are very proud of our flag. You see it everywhere. You see it on people's cars. You see it on their clothing. If you're not a big fan of the flag, it could be a bad place for you to move as well. So to recap, if you don't like being on the outdoors, if you don't like water, if you don't like bridges, if you don't like seafood, and if you don't like our flag, Maryland could be a terrible place, and more specifically, Annapolis, Maryland, which of course is the capital of the great state of Maryland. Now, I love it, and many many people do love it, and I'm sure that you'll love it too. And if you want to learn more about specific areas in the Annapolis, Maryland area, or in Maryland in general, I'd love to hear from you. All of my contact details are below. I hope that this video was helpful to help you decide whether or not Maryland would be a good place for you to live. Thanks so very much, and I hope that you have an amazing week. Tune in next week for more videos about this great state of mind and Annapolis, Maryland.